All right, so taking a look at this homework assignment. So in the first part, we're just going to complete each table by looking for the pattern. So number 1, we've got 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So what would come next? By the way, you should be using this if you have questions, not just to copy, because you want to make sure that you know exactly what you are doing and you can check your work, not just copy it down, because then you don't know what's going on. Okay? So obviously we can see that we are doubling this each time. So we go 64, then 128, then 256. So we're timesing by 2 here. Number 2, we've got 66 to 50 to 34 to 18. It's a little trickier. I think the first two is easiest to see that we're subtracting 16 each time. So this would be 2. 2 minus 16 would be negative 14. Minus 16 would be negative 30. Would be negative 46. Okay, 160 to 80 to 40 to 20. Looks like we're subtracting 80, then 40, then 20, right? But notice we're subtracting the same thing, which means we're actually dividing by 2. So 10, 5, 5 halves, or 2.5, then 5 fourths, or 1.25. Finally, number 4, negative 9, negative 2, 5, 12. Looks like we are adding 7 each time. So that would be 19, 26, 33, and 40. All right, now the next one, it says, in the pictures below, each square represents one tile. So question number 5 wants us to draw step 4 and step 5. So we should be able to notice that we are adding 1 box to each of those, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, middle, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, step 5, same idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the students in the class were asked to find the number of tiles in a figure by describing how they saw the pattern of tiles changing at each step. Match each student's way of describing the pattern with the appropriate equation below. Note the S represents the step number, this guy, and N represents the number of tiles, aka 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13. Okay, so Dan explained that the middle tower is always the same as the step number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could represent that with just S, right? He also pointed out that the 2 arms on each side of the tower contain 1 less block than the step number. So we've got 1, 2, 4, or I guess 2, 1 here, 0 here. So that'd be 1 minus 1 is 0, 1 minus 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so because we double it, I think C would be for Dan, wouldn't it? That represents the middle tower. This represents each arm. And since there's 2 of them, we times it by 2. Number 7 says Sally counted the number of tiles. So erase this. The number of tiles at each step and made a table. She explained that the number of tiles in each figure was always 3 times the step number minus 2. Well, it was pretty easy, right? 3 times the step number minus 2. Obviously, she's got to be B. Then the last one, because why? Because you are adding 3 each time, aren't you? So 3, and then times that by S, and then we subtract 2, don't we? From, if we were to take a step back, that would be like a negative 2. Okay, 8, which we know 8 is going to be A, but let's take a look at why. So Nancy focused on the number of blocks in the base compared to the number of blocks above the base. She said the number of base blocks were the odd number starting at 1, and the number of tiles above the base followed the pattern 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. She organized her work in a table at the right. So she said she looked at the base. Oops, too soon. Well, she looked at the base. So 1, 1, 3. Okay. 2, so that'd be like s minus 1, right? 5 to 3, so that's minus 2. So it's an interesting one, huh? So the step number in base plus number on top. So I guess number on top, there was 0, so minus 1. So that's where the s minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 2, or plus 1 is, hold on, step number, there we go, step. 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 1 is 2, so that represents that part. And the 2s minus 1 would represent that step 2. There's double that and minus 1 to get the number on there. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1, yeah. 5 times, or 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1 is 5. Okay, there we go, yeah. So that represents that. All right, that's all we had to do on this one, guys.